Hey everyone, and welcome to Tuesday's Daily Deco. Yes, it is me. I am by myself once again, as tradition. I've done it once. Anyway, so going forward, Tuesdays are going to be mainly me at the moment while Mark films product overview. So as I'm filming this, I'm sure he is filming product overview. So hello, Mark. I hope that's going all right with you. Just a quick update on the website. Obviously, stock is going live pretty much every single day now. There's a lot of influx of gear. So if you want to stay up to date with what's new, head over to our website, simplyscuba.com, and there is a new in tab. So click on that, and that will tell you exactly what's been scanned in our warehouse and what is now back in stock for you. And if you want to stay up to date with blogs, maybe some social posts, maybe some discounts and offers and giveaways, please, if you want to, go to the bottom of the website's page and join our mailing list to keep up to date there. And of course, we're going to keep you up to date on these daily decos as well. Just give you as much information as physically possible. Yeah, so head over to there, sign up to our emails. I think a standard one's gone out just to say that obviously everything's been, how things have progressed and how things are now officially updated. And then basically moving forward, obviously with the emails and stuff, there's going to be new in offers, pretty much just what I said. So today's Daily Deco is a bit of a mixed bag. There's some fun stories in there, some interesting stories, but there is a couple of sad ones as well, which seems to be the way things are at the moment on these Tuesdays. I go on there to do some research, and there's not, the scuba diving news is partially bleak, but anyway, let's get straight into it. So this first story is a bit of a sad one, but it doesn't have a happy ending. That's definitely not the case, but there's some sort of closure, should we say. So anyway, let's get to it. I've got my trusty steed here. So two divers were diving in, let me just double check the lake because we know, Trestle Creek on New Year's Day. Apparently, basically, they were diving and looking at submerged wreckage of a railroad cars, which is in the lake or near the lake. So they were exploring those wreckages and then basically having a fun time. One of the buddies basically saw the chap, one of his friends saw his buddy at around about 95 feet underwater, and then he was basically making his way up to surface. He waited on the shoreline for around about 48 minutes. I was going to say 45, 48 minutes, and then basically he called in reports that he could not find his buddy due to the fact that he couldn't see any surface bubbles or anything like that. So he called authorities, and pretty much since then they've had teams of divers trying to find the person. Obviously, at first it went to find the person to bring him back, or to try and hunt him down maybe further down the creek or whatever, just to find out what this chap, where this person had gone. And sadly, over time, it basically turned into a body recovery mission. But that's where the brighter side is. Basically, they have now officially found this diver's body, which is good for closure for the family, for his families. It's always a worrying time. A death isn't that. A death is, no one wishes it upon anyone, but the fact that they've now found his body will hopefully offer some sort of closure to his family. Obviously, there's now going to be a full investigation to what happened to the diver, whether he ran out of air, whether it was equipment failure or anything like that. So obviously, just like the ice diver that I mentioned last week, dying unfortunately under the ice, the investigation has really only just started going. But if there's any updates, we will of course let you know. And again, if there's been any updates since this video goes live, please share it with the people in the comments below. If there's any links or anything to articles about the tragedy, updates on this tragedy, link them below. We'll accept them, and then we can move forward on there. So it is always a sad thing to happen when a diver sadly dies. But yeah, I guess in this type of sport, it's inevitable. But like I said earlier, it's good that they found the scuba diver's body, so then there can be some closure for his family. I think that's pretty much it. Yes, here we go. So there's a bit more about where he was found. So he was found at 104 feet in the water, and he was about 20 yards away from the lower train car. So he actually wasn't that far away from where they were diving, just a little bit deeper. So yeah, like I said earlier, because they found it, they're going to investigate. And also as well, this is the first death that this lake or this area of the lake has encountered. So this is the first time ever since those the trucks and stuff and the carts have been underwater. This is the first time, sadly, a scuba diver has died in that area. But yeah, that does suck. What's going on with this thing? Stop talking to me. Right, so I'm going to quickly jump onto the next one. So the next one is a pretty cool thing. Again, this is going to aim more at search and rescue and future development. But basically, the guys over at Harvard, I do believe it is Harvard, yeah, Harvard scientists, they've engineered mini underwater fish, basically. They're around about 4 inches. It's not that big. They're about 4 inches long. But basically, what they can do is, rather than... they've designed them so they're almost like actual fish. The way that they move underwater is fish. So a lot of these prototypes and stuff, they use like propellers or like drone technology to move them through the water, which technically, depending on the type of terrain and the type of water that said autonomous vehicle is swimming in, can be very negative, should we say. It's not fluid, it doesn't move with the area. But these fish, which they have called Bluebots, so the little tiny fish, rather than using like a propeller system like a drone or an underwater ROV, they actually use the fins themselves. So they've actually been 3D printed and created to move like a fish, and all the internal signals and all the internal parts are actually, you know, make them move like a fish. So it can react very cleverly and fast within the water, depending on currents and all that sort of thing, you know, all the type of, you know, situations that they might get into in the water. But the coolest thing about these fish is that they actually communicate with one another, because they're so small, they can actually make an autonomous swarm, should we say. So they use obviously cameras and signals to communicate with one another. And then basically they go into the water and then they can hunt for things. Now, hunting is the key here. So what they did do, they used a test where they found a light, or they hid a light somewhere within the tank, and then they told the autonomous fish, or they programmed them to go find this light. And then basically after a while, one of the autonomous fish found the light, and then what they did do, they communicated to the other fish that they had found that light, and then they all came to the area as well. So basically what this means is because of the way that these Bluebots move underwater, and the way that they react within the nature of the water, basically what it means is when it comes to search and rescue, this technology can implement in furthering that. So you have someone that is potentially lost at sea, or lost in a lake, or lost somewhere. What you can do is, if you know their last known location, you can program these Bluebots to go to that location and then to scan the area to help try and find this person. When they do, or when one of them does, it lets the other fish know, communicates to them where they are, which also gives them a GPS signal, which then will also give the actual search and rescue team a GPS location of where this potential diver or this missing person is. So the implications are absolutely and utterly massive. And because of the way that they move within the water, they're not propelled. It's natural. It's almost like a natural way of moving in the water. It just means that potentially these little 4-inch fish can pretty much strive through pretty much all types of currents and stuff like that, and depths, and they can adapt to the environment that they're in. But also as well, it means that hopefully we'll be able to find more people quicker, which is going to ultimately save lives. So even though this is still early days with this technology, the implications for it are fantastic, and the fact that they're working fresh off the bat, you know, is a fantastic thing. So yeah, really interesting to see what happens there, and what sort of developments, and the fact that, as I say, they've they've got it moving the way that a fish should move is just absolutely amazing. So that's a really, really cool story. And hopefully, yeah, like I said, the implications for them can come up really, 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 really well. And, you know, hopefully it just means that, yeah, people can be found quicker. Like my first story, that incident there, rather than having a dive team or while the dive team set up, they can go that location where obviously his dive buddy found or last saw his dive buddy. They can pop these blue chip fish in, they can go to that area and then they can start scanning. And although depending on the accident or the incident, and they might not be able to save said person, potentially, depending on what's happened, but it just means that the dive team don't have to spend so much time scouring in different areas to look for it. They've got an exact location, boom, they can go down and recover or save a body. So yeah, win, win, win. So the next story is, again, it's a bit of an odd one. It's mainly to do with health and safety when it comes to aquariums. It does involve divers, and unfortunately it does involve a death, but it's a very serious case, and it draws light on the practices of aquariums worldwide and what we can potentially do to basically save lives. So basically back in October 2016, 5 scuba divers were basically hired to to basically remove, what were they? Let's have a look. So leopard whiptail rays. They were being transferred to another aquarium because this aquarium that they were in had sadly closed in June, and they were basically getting transferred to a new facility. The 5 divers managed to get 3 out of the 4 rays out of the water, and when it came to the final one, this ray basically, he just didn't want to go, which, you know, you're getting 4 of these strange creatures trying to chase you to try and grab you, you know, or whatever, or try and put you in a net and capture you. It's not a very thing, so you're gonna be resistant. But unfortunately, it did lead to one of the divers dying. So let me have a look to see. So yeah, the team of 5 were attempting to capture 4 leopard white tip rays to transfer to another facility. Basically what happened is that they found the team, like I said earlier, they found it quite hard to get one of the rays into deeper water, so then, you know, they can put it or from a deep water into a shallow platform, so then they can obviously capture the ray. One of the divers, his name is Philip Chan, he climbed onto the platform, but the ray reversed back into him, and then he collapsed. Once the other divers obviously came quickly to his aid, they found him unresponsive, and he had the ray's 22 centimeter barb basically in his chest, which punctured his heart and aorta, which obviously led to his death. So basically this inquiry has been going on since 2016 about why this diver died, how he died, and how it can be prevented. And basically what's happened now is that they are now, because of this incident, they are now releasing and basically making sure that aquariums, when it comes to transferring marine animals or any type of animal, that certain other extra procedures of safety are now taken. And also, I believe the aquarium that is involved, or the dive team that are involved in that, the aquarium, they are going to be sued around about 150,000, or it is advised that they have to pay off $150,000, which is around about $83,000 in fines as well. So sadly, a loss of life has resulted into health and safety procedures being looked at. It sucks. It's very much like the unfortunate liverboard fires that we've been getting recently. It just means that the health and safety kicks in, and even though it's sad, it just means that for future reference and for future divers in the world, it just means that they could be that little bit safer. So it's horrible that it happened, but it's good that they're taking the procedures to prevent this from happening again, which is really, really good. But yeah, it just goes to show like how careful you have to be with marine life in the ocean as well as in aquariums as well, because at the end of the day, they are wild animals. So yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you. It's just an interesting fact. I never really thought about it too much, so I thought I'd share it with you guys and, you know, get your thoughts about it. Again, let us know your thoughts in the comments. And the last story, I'm going to end on a high, a fantastic high, which is awesome. So plastic pollution, as we know, is a massive issue in the world, and we are now, or the majority, the collective, are now trying to help prevent plastic from, pollution from going into the oceans. But like we've said many a time here at Daily Deco, nature finds a way. We don't always have to interfere. I mean, we should do because we caused the problem, but there's always a way that, Mother Nature will adapt. And that's exactly what is happening, which is really, really cool. So basically, in a nutshell, you have these things called seagrass, or you have seagrass, and they also, help exchange vast quantities of carbon dioxide for oxygen, which obviously improves the water quality and obviously helps coasts, from erosion, which is really, really cool. But basically, what they found out is in these areas, if plastic goes into these areas, what happens is it creates what do they call it? A seagrass ball. And then basically the seagrass, because it's an unnatural substance, I guess, within that area, or the ecosystem itself realizes somehow that it can't actually use this plastic, it actually gathers it all up. So it gathers it all up into a seagrass ball, and then it actually expels it from the area. And what happens to these seagrass balls is they actually get washed up on shore. So basically researchers have been coming across more of these seagrass balls with plastic in them, and their initial thought was like, oh my god, like it's literally plastic is getting everywhere. But upon more investigation, it actually turns out that these areas that that are creating these seagrass balls are purposely capturing the microplastics and the plastics in the water, creating them slowly into this ball, and then literally tossing them out of the ocean, or putting them within the tide. So the tide takes it out. So it takes it out of the area, or they float to the surface and, they go to the area. So this is actually a really cool way of showing people that, you know what I mean? Like, even though obviously we as human beings need to reduce our plastics, we need to clean our oceans and that sort of thing. It's also telling us that nature realizes what we're doing, and it is trying to deal with that situation as well, which I think is really, really cool. Now, obviously, these seagrass areas and these seagrass balls aren't going to be all over the ocean or over the world, so it's only going to be in selected areas, which is a shame. But it just proves how the ocean and how marine life and how the world is dealing with us humans polluting the ocean. And also as well, it pretty much means that studies, what they could do is, scientists and researchers, they're very smart people. They can take a look at how this procedure is created naturally, and they might be able to embed it into certain areas that maybe have heavy plastic pollution or something like that. And they might be able to create a artificial version of the seagrass procedure and actually lift up even more plastic from the ocean. So basically, this is a start of something going, hopefully really, really well, and something that we can vastly improve on, hopefully. But yeah, I just thought that was, again, a nice little story. The article itself didn't go into delve into too much about it. It just says about the areas of seagrass and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully, very much like the blue chip fish, hopefully in a couple of months or a couple of years, we'll be able to see what the researchers have done with that knowledge and how they've implemented it in their studies and hopefully real world scenarios. So yeah, it's a great step, and it's good to see that Mother Nature is taking over and is now dispelling, literally getting our plastic, rolling it up into a ball or however, and then spitting it out, letting it float and letting it go to our shore for us to deal with, which is fantastic. It's a good way of doing it. But yeah, hopefully the researchers can use this and then build upon it and create something that hopefully can be used in areas where there's this seagrass and where they create seagrass is, you know, not involved. So then, yeah, you never know. You know, the implementations are endless, should we say. And that's pretty much it. That's today's Daily Deco. It's a nice short one today. Like I said, our website, simplyscuba.com, is up and running, so please head over to there. If you enjoyed today's video, of course, hit that like button, share it with your diving buddies, so that keeps them up to date with all the news. And if you're new to the channel, you've been watching a couple of our videos, but you haven't subscribed yet, whack that subscribe button on there, because the summer or the spring summertime is coming. So yeah, our channel is going to be ramping up its video content, should we say, as long as lockdown enables us to do so, because yeah, it's a bit of a weird time that we live in. But yeah, the spring summertime is obviously when this channel peaks, should we say, throughout the year. So yeah, as I say, subscribe to it. We've got a lot more videos happening, as well as, obviously, like I said at the beginning of this video, Mark is doing product overview. So if there is any products that we sell over on our website that you want him to do an overview of, because we can do them pretty quickly at the moment, because there is no physical products because of logistics at the moment. That just doesn't seem to be the case. It's not going to be the case forever. It's just obviously now we've got stuff going live on the website. We want to sing and dance about it. And normally we do a product review, but obviously our warehouse is, well, basically we're no longer right next door to our warehouse because we're all filming from home. But yeah, so let us know, or let Mark know in the comments below what products you want to, maybe for him to just have a general chin wag about. Again, our Friday show is a nice Q&A. So if you want to ask Mark or myself a question, obviously if it's scuba diving, Mark's going to be your man. But if you want to know anything about hiking, cycling, anything like that, you know, there's something up here I can help you with. Let us know in the comments, put your questions in there. In order for us to find them, please use the hashtag in your comment, Ask Mark. Sorry about this, my thing's going off there. But basically, people have been fantastic. Now, with the Q&As back in the past, let me just put that down on the floor. There we go, I'm back. So Q&As in the past, people have not responded, basically. You know, we get a couple of questions, which is fine, and then, hey presto. The questions that we get for the Q&A on Friday's Q&A has been absolutely massive. So basically we have to filter it out now. So if you can, use the hashtag AskMark if you want your question to be shown up or answered, should we say, in you know, Friday's Q&A. So yeah, that's hashtag AskMark. Anyway, I'm gonna stop blabbering on now. I hope you have a fantastic day or rest of the day or whatever time it is. That you're watching this, I just hope that you're all okay and that you're having fun and that you're staying safe out there. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching and stay classy, scuba divers.